Hello there, welcome to Life After 3D, episode 20. That'd make a good thumbnail, wouldn't it? So what's going on at the moment? Not that much really. If you're in the UK, no doubt you've noticed that we've had an incredibly warm spell recently. Today it's a bit cloudy, it's still quite warm, but I believe it's going to get scary levels of warm by the weekend again. Now, how this affects me is my hands are shonky at the best of times, right? But in warm weather, they've always historically been worse. So I'm not able to do as much with these as I would normally would anyway. This is not perfect timing, right? I'm currently on doing some sort of, I suppose I'd call it research and development, but it's more development stuff for videos that I've got planned. This is the hard slog bit, where all you really want to do is to get down and record the thing, right? But you can't because you've got to go through stuff, make sure you've got some semblance of a script, make sure you know what you've got to, which boxes you've got to tick, on your list, what things, bullet points you've got to hit, and how are you going to get this across as quickly and effectively as possible. Because I don't believe in padding, never have done. It's just, I would rather give somebody a shorter video, but with concise, precise information. So to get the knowledge from here to there as fast as possible. That's my aim. Always has been. Oh, forgot to turn my light on. Yeah. So yes, that's what a lot of that's happening at the moment. Obviously, that's going a lot slower than it normally would because it's warm weather with these. I know other parts in the world that, people say, well, we have regularly, in the 40s or whatever, and, we're still able to function. Here in the UK, it's a little bit different. Say most countries where it gets very warm, there's air conditioning. We don't have air conditioning over here because until the whole global warming shit, the summers weren't that warm. And if it was only for maybe a week of the year. So there's no point having air conditioning. Now, we're hitting temperatures I never saw as a child. They're expecting it to get into the high 30s in London at the weekend. I can't remember in my entire life, with possibly the exception of 1976, when I was 5-year-old, it ever being that warm. And the heat that we have is, trying to find the right word, but it's a very damp heat. It's more akin to the heat in a tropical jungle, right? It's very damp. So you're constantly piling with sweat and sticky all the time. I've been knocking around in my shorts, which I hate, inflicting my legs on the world, my pasty white legs. But it's either that or I will incinerate. I don't tan at all, I go bright red. So I've been trying to stay out of the sun as much as I can, keep hydrated and all that sort of stuff. Other stuff in the land of Wayne, outside of the 3D world, I've got a lot on my plate at the moment, even outside of the real life stuff. So much shit to do in so little time. It's like my next album has been sitting half done for a while, and I've not managed to get any of the second set of songs finished because I keep writing new ones, and I'm in danger of changing style before I finish this album, which is I try not to do because it confuses people, right? I don't believe you suddenly just have an album of this sort of style of music, and then suddenly, twing, it does a 180, and flips on its head into another style. Because no matter how good or bad it is, it can be jarring for the listener. I'm still playing on a Sunday night and a Monday night at the Red House and the Turf, respectively, with Gypsy Dave Smith. That's going well. We had a good night last night. It was fairly quiet. I think a lot of it is, as it's as warm as it is, unless you're able to get a taxi or a bus, because let's face it, hopefully you're not drinking and driving, most people don't want to walk any distance in the heat that we've had. I tried that early on the week, and I turned up at the pub back in last week, looking like I'd, been in a shower. I was sweating that much. So after that, I decided to have to sink the money in taxis, which I don't like doing because I walk everywhere. It's one of the reasons why my joints are knackered. I'm recording this on Tuesday. I'm hoping to get it up on Tuesday and edited today. Thursday, I've got to go and see the doctor. First time in years I've managed to get an appointment. So I'm starting at things that affect my quality of life the most. So I'm going to get them to check on my arthritis. I'm going to talk to them about my hands. There has been some change on top of nerve damage, which I think was from the fall on my birthday. And it's, well, I can move this hand, it's fine. If I'm playing, and the guitar players will know what I mean, if I'm doing, like, 3 notes per string, sort of whole tone scale or something like that with a lot of, fair bit of stretching, which to be fair, I can normally eat for breakfast. I can feel it right there, right? So something's went on, so they might want an x-ray of that. And I'm also trying to convince them to send me back to the podiatrist so I can get some more arch supports for my feet. So I've got more than one set. That would be cool, even if I have to pay for them privately, which is not ideal, but is what it is. That's what's going on there. I'm teaching tomorrow. It's Wednesday, so, and then Thursday there's a whole other load of real life stuff going on Friday. So that is what it is. I'm trying to keep myself motivated at the moment. It's not been easy because with it being as warm as it has, I'm not sleeping very well. I managed to get a good night's sleep last night. That was only because I'd been playing and therefore had a couple of pints while I was playing, so I slept like a baby all night. My plan tonight is, if it's too warm, is to actually go downstairs and sleep on the sofa. The trouble is, this makes my arthritis really bad, but at least I'll have had sleep before having to teach the students. So it's a bit of a trade-off. So yeah, I've not done anything else with AI stuff. I did try Midjourney. The amount of free credits you got was, to be fair, fucking laughable. I went through them in 10 minutes, and you need a lot more than that to run the sort of tests I run. I know people are getting good results out of it. I'm not too impressed with the way that people are immediately grabbing on this and trying to find a way to make as much money as possible. Because then you end up with a fragmentation in the art community. Those that can afford a subscription and those that can't. If you can't, tough luck, bucko. And I'm in that group. My money is fast running out. The reason why I want to get some tutorials done as fast as possible. A week on Friday coming, my daughter's school breaks up for 6 weeks for the holidays. Now, well, I can get stuff done when my daughter's in the house. It's quite hard because then I've got to basically say, look, you have to be quiet for the next X amount of hours while I record something. So I try to break it up into a number of days, so it's not too much for her. Not ideal, not even slightly. It's one of those points I've said for a while, a moment of change in my life, and I honestly, if these tutorials don't sell, I honestly don't know what to do. All bets are off. A weird story, I just had to check on my Etsy store with all the t-shirts on, which has sold a grand total of fuck all since I started it, even though I have some very good designs there. But anyway, somebody ordered one a while ago, but their credit card expired. Now, the way it works is it links from Etsy to the print-on-demand service, and it automatically fulfills the order. But if you don't pay for it, they're not going to send it. So, somebody orders this, it doesn't get sent because, you've been notified your payment didn't go through. And Etsy, in their infinite wisdom, has suspended the entire shop, even though I have done nothing wrong. So, fuck that for a game of sausages. But again, I thought it was quite interesting because I've been looking around the last 2 or 3 years, and it's very hard to find a good t-shirt design when you're walking around in shops. So I thought, well, I'm good at design. Surely people will buy, but obviously not. So that is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not exactly over the moon, but it's not exactly like it was a really big investment. It was more an investment of time that I could have put into another area. But so what is the next 20 Life After 3D going to contain? Because so far, all I've done is try lots of things. None of them have worked, and money is still running out. This is not ideal. Now, not keep telling me, oh, don't worry, we're getting something to land. Well, it hasn't fucking so far, has it? So this is the thing. I've been doing these roughly one a week for quite a while now. And to be honest, it would be a lot easier if a lot of the real life stuff wasn't using up 98% of my runtime up here. But unfortunately, real life is getting in the way. I can only do what I can do. I'm only human. Albeit incredibly good-looking human, he says, with irony. But no, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird time because I feel like it's like I've been dumped in the middle of the desert without a compass. I have no idea where I am and which direction I'm supposed to be going in. I have a brain full of, knowledge in multiple areas. You would assume this would be useful to somebody. It has been in the past. But what puts them off is these bloody hands. So what happens if people are going, well, I can't hire him because he can't use his hands? You're not paying for my hands. You're paying for what's up there, right? But they can't see past that. So, it's why I know there's what used to be the end user event is on later on this year in Utrecht in the Netherlands. I won't be going. 1, I can't afford it. 2, my passport ran out in 2018 and I haven't renewed it. 3, there is no fucking point me going there with a set of knackered hands when I can no longer do 3D professionally. Yes, I could talk away at the bar. There's plenty of times I've went there and came back with 4 or 5, offers of either long freelance work or jobs. Usually 0 pan out in the long term. People can see all sorts of things at a bar. But when reality sets in, it's different. So I remember one year, somebody offered me a job doing a certain thing for Autodesk. Would have been great. Then the reality set in that this meant me working for the American army way over in England and blah, 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 blah. And it just fell apart. So I'm used to that. But I can't currently, in all good conscience, spend that amount of money on a passport, a hotel, flights over there, some spending money while I'm there, and tickets to an event that I'm going to get a grand total of nothing off. So I know this might come as a bit of a shock to the rest of the 3D world, but I ain't got that fucking money. You might have, but I don't. And if I don't have the money, I cannot spend it. So there will be no weighing this year. In fact, there'll be no weighing at 3D events until I have some sort of an income. Period. Because the money is running out. At the rate I'm currently going, I'll probably get at the end of the kids' summer holidays unless I have some serious economising. And I'm really struggling to think what else I economise on. I can start selling some of the instruments I don't use. Well, the thing is, the reason that took me so long to get these is I had to save up for a long time for them, for things that I need every now and again. Not all the time. So when I'm recording a song, I can just go doing and it's there. Because people forget I am a musician. I was a musician long before I was a 3D artist, and I'll be a musician long after. So that's important to me. And every other time, I've sold loads of stuff off. It happened with all my camera gear. I had a series of L lenses, nice 5D Mark II and all this back in the day. Thousands of pounds worth of gear. I had to sell the whole lot to pay the bills. I never bought them back. Because once you get rid of something, it's really hard to sort of buy it all back in again. It just seems like a pointless exercise going round and round. So, yeah, another depressing video. Not sure what you're expecting off these because I very much doubt I'm going to have the 21st one's going to be, oh yes, and I've got this wonderful job. It won't happen. Tell you now, it will not happen. What you're going to watch is the slow degradation of my quality of life over a period of time until we turn around and one day it'll either be, we're going to be evicted or number whatever of me in a cardboard box living in a back street. And then people go, oh, how did it end up there? It's a fucking mystery, isn't it? Anyway, I'll see you all on number 21. Bye-bye.